Right. Are we live? I have no idea if we are gonna be live or not. But it's still gonna be a very, very pleasant experience to be live once again through this type of format. Alright, but I think I have gotten everything in place, so right now I'm just merely waiting for people to be tuning in to this live stream. And in the meantime, I might as well be sharing this live stream around so a lot more people can actually tune in. Now let's see. It's gonna be mixing around. So to everybody who's watching, let me know what you thought of East versus West 20 thus far. And at least to me, that was absolutely, the production was basically out of this fucking world. I am not gonna lie. Let's see. YouTube. Just gonna be waiting around here to see if more people are gonna be tuning in. And if I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea how many people are gonna be tuning into this. But it's always gonna be a really fun experience, as I said previously, to be able to just do these type of videos and just have a great ass time with all of you viewers that are choosing to be a part of this live stream. Let's mode EVW20. Alright. Alright, it seems like a few of you have been deciding to tuning in, and it's always a nice pleasure and honor to have you guys participate in this spontaneous live stream that are occurring to all of you guys right now. To all of you 5 awesome individuals that have been tuning in to this live stream, welcome to East vs West 20 Aftermath live stream. I am your host, Christian Krige Wiklund from SwedenArmwrestlingTelevision, and unfortunately I was not able to live commentate during the actual event because for those of you who don't know, my grandmother passed away last week, and it has been really tough for my family to be dealing with this loss, so and also for me personally, so a lot of things needed to be sorted out before I could be able to do this type of a live stream all on its own. I mean, yesterday we went to the cemetery to be lighting out the candles, have memorial moments, and remembering all of the fun times and the sadness that came with it, but it is with those moments that gives you a perspective of life that you need to be able to call to your loved ones, whether if it is a family member, a friend, or anything in that regard, and telling them that you love them and you should be appreciative of what they are meaning it to you. So the loss of my grandmother really hit me hard, so I was basically forced to be dealing with that type of that type of slap to reality, if you guys know what I mean. So it was a little bit extra hard to be sitting there and and remember all of the fun times that you had with your loved ones and all of that. So in that regard, if you are having closer connections to your family members and all of that, please just call to them or text them or send a postcard or anything in that matter, and tell that you love them, you appreciate them, and you will not be where you are if it wasn't for their support. So yeah. Alright, we have like 8 consecutive viewers and 7 likes. Wow! Man, it is really nice to be doing these type of live stream and just have this philosophical conversations with all of you guys. I'm just gonna be see how everything is gonna be like. Now let's see. Detail. Shifting it around, but while I'm fixing the settings for this live stream, feel free to just drop in the chat and have a conversation, and be sure to tell me what your thoughts were of East versus West 20. At least for me, the production of that was absolutely crazy. I mean, the production, the audio and all of that, it was the production of that was the best by far, and that is not a understatement and anything in that regard. That is basically one of the production of that particular event was absolutely crazy. I mean, it really was at the end of the day. I was just sitting there, and the quality of the video, the audio, and the production and all of that, it was the best by far. So, Dexter, Robert, if any of you guys are tuning in to this live stream and happen to come across this somehow, be sure to know that the production that you put out to this event was really, really crazy in a very awesome regard. I mean, you could feel the energy of the crowd, the intensity from the pollers, especially from one match alone. I'm looking at you, Matt Mask and Sergei Kalinichenko. And with that, I mean, the matchmaking can be a really tough task as a whole. Sometimes you just wanted to have a really nice matches that should be available to be seeing, and some issues aside, it was an awesome experience as a whole. I mean, at least I don't know how it was for you, but I did not experience any lagging or anything in that regard. I mean, besides from when I was trying to Chromecast from my phone to the television, it was some minor issues here and there, but besides from that, it was still an awesome experience to be seeing East versus West 20. Now let's see, I think some people were tuning. Home Gym Physique is now entering the chat. Hello, brother. Hope that you have an awesome experience to be seeing East versus West 20. Let's see what you are writing here. It's gonna be shifting around so I can see that one better. Minor issue. If stream is meant to begin on a certain time, then start at this time. Nothing more frustrating than watching a blank screen. Yeah, I do agree with you there, brother. But if it is something that I have learned when it comes to arm wrestling as a super match tournaments or tournaments in general, I mean, take it from a autistic fella. If arm wrestling tournaments or super match production as a whole, never, and I cannot stretch that out enough, never starts on time. Whenever it happens to almost every single arm wrestling production out there, that it can be some minor issues with the stream, as you mentioned. It can be minor issues with the connecting the audio, the program software, and all of that. And sometimes it can be a real kick in the nut when it comes to start exactly on time. But I do understand the feeling that you have already paid it the X amount of money to be watching this amazing event, and the least that you want to have is minor hiccups that you have been taking your time to buy some soda, beers, tea, coffee, whatever you choose to be having. And in that, you do not want to have any minor hiccups that can definitely ruin the rest of your evening. So in that regard, I can understand with what you are saying there, home gym physique. Alright, 8 concurrent viewers and 11 likes. Wow! Wow! It's always so fun to have viewers that can be tuning in and have this awesome conversation with little me, the Swede from the frozen north. And by the way, guys, if you haven't already, share this live stream around and leave a like on this live stream if you haven't already, because with that one click will mean a lot to me, and as this one will be get boosted in the algorithm. So if you haven't already, be sure to spam that like button so that this one gets boosted. Thank you very much. Issue number 2. While watching the stream, I kept hearing a woman's voice starting a countdown. Robotic voice that was replaced throughout when the arm wrestlers were resting. First time I heard it. Yeah. At least for me, I had no problem with that. Because when it comes to these type of... maybe they were trying out something new, that to just make sure that athletes does not take any amount of unnecessary rest. Because there has been incidences when arm wrestlers take like 2 or 3 minutes to even go back to the arm wrestling table. And maybe they had this to make sure that it does not happen ever again. At least for me, I had no issue with that, but maybe it is because it might not be to any amount of cup of tea, if that makes sense. But I do understand that if that is not to everyone's cup of tea. But at least for me, I personally had no issue with that whatsoever. But I don't know. That is just my personal opinion. Man, you are really on fire with the conversation, home gym physique. Alright, issue number 3. Robert mentioned a bonus prize for the most entertaining match, but the winner wasn't disclosed at the end of the stream unless I missed it. Really? Wow, I really had no idea about that. But at least to me, I don't know exactly who were getting that prize, but for me it were like 3 candidates for that special prize. I do believe it was for... Maybe it was for Kalinichenko versus Matt Mask, Yoshinobu Kanai versus Margo, Pedarint, or whatever his name was, and Todd Hatching versus Irakli Serkashvili. Those 3 matches, to me, were the most entertaining matches out of all of them. So, but oh yeah, another one from the later part of the stream, it was Dave Shafee versus Ibrahim Sagov. That to me was really entertaining to see Dave Shafee finally be able to fire up and just show to the arm wrestling world that he means business. So, at least for me, those were the candidates to be potentially winning the money prize for the most entertaining match. But if I had a gun to my head and somebody was forcing me to actually say that, you better say what the answer or the right match is, otherwise I'm gonna be destroying you. So, at least to me, that would be Matt Mask versus Sergei Kalinishenko. Because the amount of F-bombs and insults and the middle finger that they were giving each other throughout that entire match, that I just had a great ass time watching that match with all of the awesome energy that they were portraying throughout that entire match. Oh my goodness. My girlfriend was playing video games at the side, and when she was hearing me laughing my ass off whenever Sergei Kalinishenko and Matt Mask were throwing these really intense insults against each other, and she was just like and just turned away. So yeah, that at least to me was one of the most entertaining match out of all of them. Another one for me was, or should I say, the most surprising match out of all of the matches that I have been seeing throughout the East versus West card, was against what's his name, Daniil Ustanov versus Mindaugas Tarasaitis. Because when I saw that Mindaugas Tarasaitis was gonna be pulling against the 75 kilo WF World Champion, I was really like, this is gonna be really interesting. Since Mindaugas from a few years ago was able to get the WF gold medal at the WAF Worlds 2023 in Kazakhstan, and Daniil Ustanov was somewhere in 70, 75, and somewhere in that regard. And for Mindaugas Tarasaitis to just outclass him in the fashion that he was doing, and utterly tell him like, all of those big biceps, and you're still not prepared enough. You just need to go back to Kazakhstan and just get stronger, get better, and all of that. And he even told to the entire country of Kazakhstan that you need to send somebody better. Wow. Man, Mindaugas really is taking in this Moriarty personality to a very high regard, to be able to trash talk the way he is doing and still is able to back it up. To me, that is that is so really cool to be seeing Mindaugas Tarasaitis to be doing this type of absolutely craziness to be doing this. At least to me, that was really awesome. And by the way, guys, if you are new to this live stream, welcome. We are trying to get this live stream to over 25 likes. And with the support that you have for Sweden Arm Wrestling Television, be sure to spam that like button. It is just a double tap, and this one will get boosted in the algorithm, so a lot more people can tune in to be a part of this magnificent live stream. Man, that sounded really egotistical when I was saying that out loud. But it still is really awesome to have viewers like you to be tuning in to this live stream. And for that I say thank you very much, or as the Japanese people are saying, domo arigato gozaimasu. Arigato gozaimasu. Or as in Russian they say, большое спасибо, друже. So all of that is really awesome. Okay, and now let's see. I see that Home Gym Physique has been spamming my chat a little bit here, so... Yeah, that is exactly what I'm saying. 15 likes, but no comments. Speak up, viewers! Come on, viewers! Speak up, viewers! Speak up, viewers! Come on, guys! Speak up! Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Write in the comments and let's get a proper discussion rolling. So, Home Gym Physique is the only one who is brave enough to be having a conversation with the Swede from the frozen north. Alright. The first match with the two women was a bit cringe during Friday's face-to-face square-off. Hair pulling. Well, I thought it was entertaining that both Elina Persson and Snezana Babayeva was actually bringing some intensity to their super match, because for most of the time, the arm wrestlers that are doing the stare-offs and all of that are usually coming across as pretty stale. And if they are not broadcasting themselves, the interests of their particular super match will take a pretty big nosedive as a whole. So for some it might be a bit cringe that they are doing that, but I found no hiccups with that. So, but it was probably cringe to some, but at least to me, I get why they did that. So, and yeah, from all of the posts that I've been reading on Reddit, they were just thinking like, why didn't Robert stop it sooner? Who knows? Who knows? Alright. God knows what Irakli needs to do to beat Todd. Irakli does all the heavy biceps workouts and is no doubt probably stronger than Todd in the gym, but still can't win. Yeah. It is basically with that what in the type of areas needs to be worked on when it comes to Irakli Saakashvili. I mean, as you were saying, he is really strong in those particular lifts that he is doing at the gym. But then it's always the backside of a coin. What happens if you meet somebody that can really take those elements away from you? In this instance, Todd Hutchings was just able to top roll the living piss out of him, and he is not the one who is famous for his top roll. And from all of the matches that I did, or from all of the rounds that I did see, it did look like that Irakli Saakashvili had no connection to his pronator at all. And with that, he's really throwing everything in the kitchen sink, but all of it was completely taken away from him. So in that regard, what Irakli needs to, at least to me, improve upon is this, and be able to control the pronator from the wrist and the pronator like this, because the key to beating the Todd Hutchings is through this. And a lot of people are trying to just only pronate, but get stuck when Todd Hutchings are able to get that side pressure engaged. And that is something that most people are missing when it comes to beating the Todd Hutchings. I mean, if you do not have those elements engaged when dealing with somebody as strong and fluent as Todd Hutchings is in this case, you are basically gonna get stuck to a moving tractor that is going slowly in that direction. So that is, if I were Irakli Serikashvili, I would try to focus on those elements rather than get stuck in a career-ending death war with no path of no return. So hopefully Irakli Serikashvili will take this as a valuable lesson and not getting himself thrown into the wolves when it comes to the likes of Todd Hutchings. 15 likes, but no comments. Speak up, viewers! Yeah, I think I've been reacting to that comment. Now, let's see. And you also seem to be having a great time here, Home Gym Physique. But at the same time, the viewers that I've been having are pretty much quiet. You are the only one who is daring to have a conversation here. That is not a good sign. The problem is that those type of hands of face-offs come across as a fake, which make it cringe to watch, in my opinion. Yeah, as I said previously, it might not be to everybody's taste, but I do understand why they did it, because arm wrestlers who are in the professional format needs to showcase themselves enough to be able to sell pay-per-views as a whole. That is why when people are looking at like Devil Larratt, Ryan Bowen, Coach Ray, all of them Larratt, what are these people have in common? They all broadcasted themselves and are able to just showcase themselves, and not only letting their arm wrestling do the talking, but they also talking a bunch as a whole. That is why people are more engaged to either see them win or to see them lose. And that is a golden what is the Goldilocks zone that a arm wrestler really wants to be in. If you are not a part of that, then all of that is basically gonna be, or the hype of yourself as an arm wrestler will basically go down like this. So that is why I believe that people should be taking like inspirations from Ryan Bowen, Devil Larratt, Odin Larratt, and Coach Ray, and even now Milo Larratt, that showcase themselves and not overdo it. That is just my personal opinion about that. So, probably a good idea for Todd to move up a weight class. Yeah, as he was saying that right now he needs tougher opponents, and he is now forced to be moving up a weight class because he is that dominant in the minus 95. So that is why I do believe a match between Todd Hutchings and Oleg Petrenko will be an awesome, really, really awesome match. Because that it will really be putting somebody as strong as Oleg Petrenko is to the test. And if Oleg Petrenko is able to deal with that type of side pressure that Todd Hutchings is bringing, and Todd Hutchings really made De Valera shit himself when it comes to the overall side pressure that he is bringing to the arm wrestling table. That to me should definitely be a match that the organizers and the fans would love to see. A match with him and Oleg Petrenko. Because I don't know if you guys noticed, but it seems like Oleg Petrenko was a lot more mentally stronger. He even was able to do a head rub on Nugo Shikadze, and that was really unexpected of Oleg Petrenko to be doing that while the match was still going on. He was still doing the head rub on the Nugo Shikadze, and it seems like Oleg Petrenko is now embracing more and more of the mental toughness on the arm wrestling super matches as a whole. So I do believe that Oleg Petrenko learned a valuable lesson when it comes to be dealing with somebody that really attacks you mentally, as De Valera was doing during their super match. Although that the rumors were going around that he was using LSD, like a big amount of that. So I do believe that this version of Oleg Petrenko is gonna be a really dangerous one to be seeing in the near future. So yeah, that is gonna be really, really awesome. Alright, 11 concurrent viewers and 15 likes. Wow! I'm just speaking to 11 people here, and I definitely feel blessed that this amount of people are tuning in to hear a Swedish guy in the frozen north, in the high frozen north, talking about East versus West 20. So thank you very much to all of you guys that are tuning in to this live stream. It is absolutely an honor that so many, that the few of you are tuning in to my live stream. It is absolutely crazy and a humbling experience. We are 10 likes away to be reaching 25 likes. So if you haven't already, be sure to leave a like on this live stream so we can get this boosted in the algorithm. It might be just a couple of taps for you, but to me it will really mean a lot. And by the way, you can share this live stream around, so a lot more people can be tuning in and have a awesome conversation with the like-minded or different-minded people in the realm of arm wrestling. Alright, now let's see. They should provide footage of after polling once the competition is over. Wouldn't nicely add to the event? Yeah, especially when the big names are doing some of the after polling, because then those after polls will definitely garner up some more views and even more potential subscribers, buyers, and all of that. So that would be cool to be seeing that. No Travis at this event. Some people love his type of commentary, and some people really hate his type of commentary. So in this regard, it really is a hit or miss when it comes to Travis the Beast Pageant. And also, Armageddon. Sup? What's up, Armageddon? How are you doing in this lovely evening? Did you also enjoy East vs West 20? Although the matches on that card was a hit or miss when it comes to the matchmaking, but when it comes to the actual production of it, I was genuinely impressed with how great of a production that East vs West was having. So for me, I was genuinely impressed with how all of that was going on. So Armageddon, I'm fine. I liked it. Yeah, same here, brother. Same here. I think I'm gonna be doing engage with that one, yeah. By the way, okay. Who's your pick? Might as well start. Reveal. Start. All right. Now that Vitaly Levan Saganashvili has officially now been confirmed, what are your thoughts about this potential super match? Is Vitaly Laletin gonna be able to do what many deems to be impossible, or will Levan Saganashvili maintain his authority and just stomp it down like Thor was swinging his hammer against the world serpent Jörmungandr? Man. But before we are getting to that, I'm gonna be reading through the chat to see which more people are tuning in. Roger Eriksson is in the chat. Have to leave. See you soon on Thursday, Krüger. Ah, you're coming on Thursday. Now that Roger Eriksson was just recently competing over at IFA Worlds in Baku. He placed really respectfully in the Masters or Senior Grandmasters category. And now he is, I think he is home or has just arrived home. So he's a really strong Masters puller from my home club. And it will be nice to be practice with him on Thursday. So nice to see that you were tuning in to this live stream, brother. See you soon. Just said some matches were kind of messed up because of the ref calls as usual. Yeah, I had to agree with you there. I mean, I do understand that you want the rules to be done by the book, but at the same time, when it comes to the actual rules and all of that, as arm wrestlers, we are most of the time fine with it, because really we don't want to see matches end on fouls and all of that. But us who are actually invested in the sport as athletes, we understand why those rules are in place. When it comes to the general audience, that can really be a hit, and it also can be a miss. if you are mishandling or overuse the necessity of the rules so they can be implemented and all of that. Because when it's too many protests and too many miscalls and too many over strictness with the rules, they can really either it can add to the viewing experience, or in many cases it can basically kill the hype of a arm wrestling match as a whole, and the viewer will just go somewhere else to be seeing something else. So for me, the rules can be basically like a hit and be a miss if it handles. Yeah. Basically lost my trail of thought there, but you guys understand why I'm what I am trying to go with this. Of course, I understand that. For me, the problem is the lack of inconsistencies. Oh yeah. Especially when it comes to certain arm wrestlers that come to mind. Because they are consistent with those arm wrestling rules. When it comes to arm wrestlers that they really do not want to be calling those rules too, because of X amount of factor, and I do believe one of them is gonna be like some form of backlash towards them as individuals. Maybe some are cut for it, and some might not be so cut for it. So it's basically like a hit or miss when it comes to the inconsistencies, as you pointed out, Armageddon. I mean, like for instance, in some Devil Alert matches, they had those rules in place, but at the same time, they are basically like not so consistent when it comes to Devil Alert. Because Devil Alert knows that if he is vocal enough and just consistent enough at what he is trying to do in that specific moment, they really can mess it up. So hopefully that is giving you some consistency or some answers with you were conveying here. The batteries on my camera was about to shut off, so I was just plugging it in with a phone charger. They are scared of the athletes almost. Yeah. In some cases, yes. But it's also the fact that there can be some backlash with the refereeing, especially during the WL days when Bart Wood was thrown to the wolves most of the time when it comes to the WL days, because they got, I don't know how bad the backlash was, but it was almost like a trash post to Bart Wood almost every single time when you were searching around for WL and all of that. So maybe they are just having that so they don't get the X amount of backlash. But at the same time, yeah. You don't, if you are great at your job, you should not be scared of the athletes and they just maintain cool, calm, collected throughout the entirety of that match. Because if you are uncertain with the work that you are doing, the athletes can smell weakness and they will exploit it to their best of their abilities. Which is why Davalara is so dangerous on the arm wrestling table, because he is battling the referee and the athlete at the same time. And that is basically in every single match that he is doing. He is trying the best to his abilities to basically like I don't know, trying to get away with as much as humanly possible when it comes to these type of super matches, because it can get mentally taxing for the referees, but also for the athlete as well. So the referees should not be afraid to do their job on the arm wrestling table. But when it comes to super matches, it's a hard balance to be balancing out, if that is making sense. 9 concurrent viewers and 17 likes. We are 8 likes away. We are literally 8 likes away from 25 likes. So if you haven't already, it might be just a simple tap to you, but for me it means it will mean really much to me that you are liking this live stream, and just share this around so a lot more people can be tuning in and have overall nice conversations with like-minded individuals that appreciate the work of arm wrestling. Hello, it seems the book has now been written on Jerry. Do you think he can adjust to stay near the top? In this instance, he is. I would not say that he is far away from it, but from all of these matches that he has been doing thus far, he really needs to make some adjustments when it comes to the training that he is doing. Because the thing with Jerry, at least to my understanding, is that he is like an open book when it comes to the arm wrestling style that he is doing. And when people are sensing that they are strong enough to exploit his weaknesses and all of that, because although his style of going forward is really, really strong, but what happens if you are meeting somebody that is basically gripping here and turn your wrist into a wrist wrench? To me, that is what they are gonna be exploiting on Jerry Cadorette every single time. Because the key to beating Cadorette is through this way. Because if he is shooting forward, what they are doing is basically taking the grip here, or somewhere in between, and just are doing this. So Jerry Cadorette has no access to his press power at all. So what I would try to do is try to at least, if you're gonna do a press motion, just try to at least make sure that you are keeping your pronator and all of that at the same time. Because Jerry Cadorette needs to figure out how to be able to be dealing with that X amount of challenges that are coming across to him. Because if he keeps up in this pace, he is eventually gonna get kicked out of the top 10. And that is something that I do not want for Jerry Cadorette to be ending up in, because he is one of the most dangerous arm wrestlers out there in the world. So I do hope that he is finding anything that he is able to adjust and just come back from it. But as it stands now, his trajectory is slowly going down, and it's basically like a sinking ship, or the arm wrestling version of Titanic that is slowly going down. So for Jerry's sake, I do hope that he is not ending up in that spot. Hello, it seems... Okay, they figure out the blueprint. Now he is a one-trick pony. Yeah, exactly. That is what these arm wrestlers have been exploiting now on Jerry Cadorette for this few months, or past 12 months. I don't know. But it has been like that for a good while now. And it should be a wake-up call for Jerry Cadorette to readjust his way of training. So he is not getting into these positions that they are simply taking everything away from him. And when they are doing that, he is basically like a lost child in one of the biggest parks in the world, looking for his parents. So yeah, that is something I hope that Jerry Cadorette are able to readjust, just for his own sake, if that makes sense. XIM B. Nothing more, just B. Completely silent here. Now let's see. Which is more in the chat. In my opinion, Jerry will never get another chance against Vitali or Levan. He has beaten far... He was beaten far too easily. Yeah. Unfortunately, his shot with Vitali and Jerry, or Vitali and Levan, will not happen for the plausible future, because of the recent points that I was doing or said in this live stream. I do hope that he is not getting too heartbroken from this and just retire from arm wrestling as a whole, because that would be a really bad day for arm wrestling if he decides to retire, because he is very charismatic on the arm wrestling table when he is getting into those matches. Given his age, it's probably better to drop a weight, and yeah, I think he would be an excellent addition for the 115 class, because if I'm not mistaken, Jerry Cadorette is not that tall comparing to the other super heavyweight athletes that are out there. So for him to be dropping down to 115 will be really interesting to see, especially for his health. I don't know how healthy it is to be in that weight that he is, and is in that height. I don't know. But I do agree that it will be a new experience for Jerry Cadorette if he is able to drop down to 115, because I do believe that they are multiple match opportunities for Jerry Cadorette if he is able to drop down to that one weight class. So that would be something to be considering. Really good point. Really good pointer. Home gym physique. He should hook. Yeah. He definitely should be doing that. Oh, 15 concurrent viewers and 18 likes. Awesome, awesome. If you are new to this live stream, welcome, welcome, welcome. Be sure to leave a like on this live stream, subscribe, and all of that good stuff. And while you're at it, be sure to share this live stream around so a lot more people can tune in and be a part of this amazing, amazing community. We are 7 likes away. It might be a small tap for you, but to me, it means all of the good stuff in the world. So if you haven't already, be sure to just tap, and you're all done. Thank you very much. All right. Be great. Oh yeah. As it should be. As it should be. All right. Ah, it was done. Okay, now let's... Right. I think Petro and Kanai was a little surprising for me. What do you think about it? I do believe I wasn't exactly that surprised. But at the same time, when Petro was able to just top roll him that easily during the first round, I was just thinking like, it seems like Kanai is not gonna be able to pull it off. But when he was able to get into his open style top roll and wear out Petro in the fashion that he was doing, that was something. How do you say it? Not so surprising, but it was surprising at the same time. I was expecting like it was gonna be like going back and forward. But with the great match that he had against Todd Hutchings, I was believing that Yoshinobu Kanai was able to do something against Petro. But the more the match went on, the more evident the table IQ of Yoshinobu Kanai was able to show to the entire arm wrestling world. Because when Petro was forced in a position that he is usually not being used to being that position, it really can be either a life-changing experience or a nerve-wracking experience. Because in that instance, Petro was just continuously driving to the side with no success at all. Because it was evident that his side pressure was fading more and more, while for Todd Hutching, he was able to maintain his pressure more and more as the match went on. So if I were Petro in that case, I would just try to almost try to pronate like this, and then come on top, and then come on down with the press. But in that instance, it is very easy for me to say what I think it should be done, rather than be in that spot and figure it out in real time. No cakes today on stream. No cakes on stream. No cakes on stream. No, my girlfriend is really tired from all of her work, so I'm just allowing her to just rest and be fully recovered and heal up. So, by the way, guys, I do not want to get too fat, so. Alright. I thought Petro will have too much power, but I was wrong. Yeah, I do understand that Petro was the overall stronger athlete of the two, but Yoshinobu Kanai was definitely the smarter one of the two. Now let's see. By the way, guys, how many correct predictions were you able to get from East vs West 20? at least to me, I had like a 10 out of 12. And the and the only ones that I was guessing incorrectly on was the female arm wrestlers. Well, to my defense, I was picking Elina Persson to show my support for Elina Persson. But in my heart, I knew that Snezana Babayeva was gonna be too much for Elina. So I was thinking like, I'm just gonna pick her just for the morality of that support. But what really shocked me was with how easy Gabriela Vasconcelos was was getting beaten by Barbora Baseova. I have never seen anybody do that to Gabriela Vasconcelos, because I was thinking like, oh, since it is on the left arm, I do believe it's gonna be a really awesome match. But I was dead wrong on that. Holy shit. So for Barbora Baseova to be able to do that against Gabriela Vasconcelos was it was really crazy. It was honestly very, very shocking for Barbora Baseova to do that against what many deem to be the female GOAT of arm wrestling, but I do believe that Heidi Andersson is the female GOAT of arm wrestling, and I will fucking defend that to my dying breath. But anyway, I was believing that it was gonna be a career in the Death War or anything in that regard, but I was not able to predict that the match was gonna be as one-sided as it was. So for me, that was genuinely really, really shocking to see her in that regard. Alright, match of the night for you. For me, it was between Petro versus Kanai and Matt Mask versus Kalina. Yeah, it is the same for me. That those two matches were definitely the best of the entire match. Just Matt Mask and Kalina for their entertainment value, and Kanai and Petro for arm wrestling purity. So for me, those will definitely be my pick for the match of the night. Yoshinobu Kanai versus Petro, and Matt Mask versus Kalina. That would definitely be my picks for the match of the evening. By the way, I did also come across something really, I don't know if I should say interestingly, because I did come across something quite shocking, if I'm gonna be honest. But now let's see. There were some guy from Ireland that was going to the Swiss Open, and he was gonna be competing there. So for me, to be hearing these type of news was really out of the ordinary. So just gonna be shifting around here. Okay, that's gonna be showing that this is what is it called? Auto Arm Wrestling London, also known as Golden Hands. And he shared a really interesting story when it comes to the Swiss Open. And he was registered, he paid everything, and they did not even allow him to compete at all. Where's the logic in that? But yeah. In this, we're just going to be taking a look at what he has to say, because when I was watching these videos back to back, I was genuinely shocked with the unprofessionalism of some individuals when it comes to the athletes of arm wrestling itself. But without further ado, I'm just going to be letting him do all of the talking here, so.
I just want to talk, and I just want somebody's opinion. Just honestly, what do you think about this situation? And I came to the Switzerland. I paid for the flights. I paid for the hotel. I made the weight. I paid for the right hand 105 kilograms category. I was cutting weight. I was not having a good food for some days. I left my family for 3 days. I left my work because basically I wasn't making any income. And now I'm preparing for the fight, and my name is not coming on the screen. My name is not coming on the screen, and yeah, the groups are big, so I was just waiting.
No, he is basically saying that he had to be taking time off of work, time away from his family, not getting anything paid, not a paid vacation, and his name was not popping up on the screen. But be sure now, if you are looking at the comments section here, I was commentating like, what? That person should be ashamed, because that was extremely unprofessional of that person. I'm so sorry that this happened to you, buddy. You can also see that Coach Ray was also commenting on this video, and he was saying that he was shocked by all of this. But I think it was somewhere in the middle here that he was
there is
saying.
My number 7229, so I am registered, and there is a barcode. Giving this to him and asking him, can you help me please? I don't see my name coming up. And he says there is no one. The guys who are responsible about the names or whatever, they are eating. I'm going there in the corner where they are eating. On the way there, I met one of the organization guys, and when I'm telling him that there is a problem, he is just trying to very aggressively just tell me, go. Just go there somewhere in a corner, don't just leave me alone. So I'm going in the corner where is one of the girls, one of the popular arm wrestling women, Snezhana, and I'm asking her, I said, could you please help me with this? And there is my number, 722. One of the guys who is by the computers in that moment is eating, and she's giving him my badge and says, listen, the guy paid, he made a weight, he gets a badge, he has a number, but his name is not coming on the screen. Can you help him? And he starts to shake, he's getting aggressive, he starts to shout at her, and she is still getting on him and asking, listen, this is unfair, he made the weight, he came here. And he said, listen, I have way more important stuff. East versus West is coming tonight, so leave me alone with this thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was get the or I turn off the audios there. So, but hopefully that you can hear me now. So, oh man, this is embarrassing. But yeah, but he was going to the. Let me gather myself. He was going to Snezhnaya Babayeva to be helping him to get his point across to this very stubborn staff member, and he was really aggressive towards Snezhnaya and this arm wrestler here, and he was just basically saying like, I have bigger things to do. East versus West is coming on later tonight. So I do not want to be dealing with this. And when I was hearing that, I was just like... what the fuck? What is going on? Man, you should not be treating your fellow arm wrestlers in this fashion. Especially when you have a competition and you are there as a staff member, and you should not be having this besserwisser or basically know-it-all attitude against somebody that has been taking their time to be paying for your trip and paying for the hotel, taking unpaid time from work, your family and all of that. So for this prick of a staff member to be giving this guy who has been traveling just to improve himself as an athlete and all of that, and basically treating this person like dirt, it is really unprofessional, man. It does not really matter that you are feeling stressed out and all of that. It should not be. It should not be into discussion. It really shouldn't. It really shouldn't at the end of the day. So I am really sorry for this guy to be having such an unpleasant experience on the Swiss Open. I mean, the Swiss Open is one of the toughest tournaments to win in the entirety of Europe. And for the staff member to be doing this kind of shitty ass attitude against somebody that has been paid, already been registered, all that this staff member needed to do was to just recheck all of that and just be done with it. Because, I mean, it should not be at the cost of a fellow arm wrestler that has just been going there to basically be treating in this fashion. And he also mentioned in this video, or a couple of videos in this, guess how much they paid him to basically shut him up? 50 euros. 50 euros! I mean, for 50 euros to be going with this, I'm just thinking like, oh my god. For those really stuck up Jekyll and Hyde personality assholes that these staff members were treating this arm wrestler, oh my god. Holy shit. I am so sorry for this guy to be having this unpleasant of a experience when it comes to this. Man, my heart really goes out to the guy. My heart really goes out to the guy. But yeah. Alright, now let's see what you guys have been writing in the chat while I was doing all of the ranting aside. Actually insane if that is all true. Yeah, he did say with which guys that were behaving that unprofessionally against him on his Insta stories. He did put both of their faces on there, but if you want to see their faces, I do suggest that you are going over to his Instagram page, and then you can see it from there or so. Yeah, they paid him to keep quiet. Yeah. That was really one of the most aggravating. Just take 50 euros and shut the fuck up. Good on him to not to shut the fuck up. Good on him to actually speak up against these unprofessional assholes. Man. Some individuals need to really get their shit together if this is gonna be the Jekyll and Hyde personality that they are gonna be spewing out on arm wrestlers that are paid, have already registered, and is screaming and being aggressive against somebody that is on the East versus West 20 card. It is really unprofessional to be even doing that type of notion. Man, people like that really aggravate the living piss out of me. Man. Martin G Blast is in the chat. Hey, how are you doing, brother? I hope that you had a absolute great time watching the East versus West 20 event, because to me it was really, really awesome. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, how are you, Lagia? Hope that that you had a great time watching the event, and excuse me that you had to come in the middle of my rant when I was ranting in this fashion that I was doing. What was your favorite match? Yeah, I did say it in the first half of this live stream, but my favorite match out of all of them was against Matt Mask versus Kalinichenko and Kanai versus Petro. Those two matches, in my opinion, were the best matches out of all of them. But since one match was gonna be picked to be getting the prize money of the batch match of the night, and I had a gun to my head and I was forced to choose, I would have picked Matt Mask and what was his name? Kalinichenko. Production-wise, yeah, production-wise, the event was absolutely incredible. The production of the entire event was the best by far. And I was genuinely impressed with how well structured and all of that was going around. So for me, that was definitely one of the bigger highlights of the entirety of as a whole. Production was crazy for arm wrestling standards. Oh yeah, definitely, most definitely it was. The amount of production value was absolutely crazy for arm wrestling standards. What is a fact, a well-known fact. So for them to be getting this amount of production to a arm wrestling competition, wow, absolutely wow. So well done to Dexter and Robert to be having this amount of time and work and effort going into East versus West. I do believe that the competition as a whole, or organization as a whole, will be in a much better place with Robert Baxter in it. 10 concurrent viewers and 22 likes. We are 3 likes away. We are 3 likes away to be getting into the realm of 25 likes. So if you haven't already, be sure to spam the like button. It might be a small tap for you, but for me, it means absolutely everything. So if you haven't already, be sure to spam that like button because we are super duper close to be getting into 25 likes. Yes, sir. Mask fight was super entertaining. Oh, yeah. I was laughing my ass off with how entertaining that was, especially when they were giving the middle finger to each other, especially after when Kalinashenko was able to pin down Matt Mask. It was just roaring directly into the face and was just giving him the middle finger. Everybody in the crowd was really entertained by all of that, so... Alright, Nugo got fucking smoked. Yeah, Petrenko was coming into a shape which was really quite scary to be coming in with that shape against Nugo Shikadze, who was on a upward trajectory, and for him to be beating Nugo Shikadze 4-0 in the manner that he was doing, man, it seems like almost every athlete that has been polling against the Devil Larrat, by some reason, is leveling up in the process. It is quite fascinating once you are thinking about it. Did you see that Darikian during the press conference making a paper aeroplane? Wow, I had no idea. I was just tuning back and forward during the press conference because of personal issues, but if that I needed to go back to the press conference clip and check that out, because if that is true, man, that it's would be a fun meme to be making out of that. So almost like caption this. Alright. Yeah. But I think I've been here long enough now, so if you have a quick question that you just want to throw out, please let me know, and I will get back to that. I was thinking about this morning, than previous opponents. Yeah. Yep. Previous opponents has now been officially dangerous. Exactly. Exactly, Martin G. Blast. Okay, but I think I'm gonna be ending this stream here, because me and my girlfriend are gonna be preparing some very delicious food now. So sorry guys, but I'm gonna be leaving you here with this. If you haven't already, the link to my SCTV merch is in the video description down below. So if you haven't already, be sure to buy yourself a SCTV cap that will help you during the frozen times and keep you warm in the frozen nights. So yeah, if you haven't already, be sure to check those out and have a nice day. Stay safe, don't be a surpeppa. Keep being awesome. Take care. And I will keep on doing these live streams whenever I do get the time. So, and just having this regular ass conversation with awesome individuals like you is always a pleasure and always a fun one. So take care, guys.